for you all?
Very long day. I don't usually do 4 in one day, but I have been known to do 6 or 7 in a day.
Oh, wow.
But I don't start at noontime though either. I would have started at 6, 7 o'clock a.m. Okay. Everything I do gets videotaped for liability issues on my end.
Okay.
First question I ask everybody, have you ever had a polygraph before?
No.
And most folks haven't. So what I'm gonna do first of all is I'm gonna verbally walk you through the process.
Okay.
When I'm done, we're gonna go right back to step A and begin.
Perfect.
First thing I'm gonna have you do is sign my consent form. Consent form has 3 important factors on it. You're here of your own free will to take the test. Everything we talk about today will be strictly confidential between the involved parties. The only thing by law that I have to report to anybody else would be if you admitted a felony crime to me. So those things aren't privileged. As long as it doesn't happen, we'll be all set.
Okay.
Third and last is you can walk out the door here at any time you want, no questions asked on my end. This is not criminal, so I'm not worried about that kind of thing.
Perfect.
Once that's done, I'll open up a file here in the system. I'll be asking you educational and medical questions. I just have to establish that health-wise you're okay to continue and take the test.
Okay.
Once that's done, I'm going to briefly explain what you're looking at on the table, give you a quick overview of what it is and how it works.
Okay.
Then I'm going to relay a short story about polygraph to you before it's going to explain everything that you're about to go through.
Okay.
Are you actually, I think you're sitting on my pad, so stand up for me. Yep, throw that up on the table.
Oh, so I thought it was
I did that on the last test too.
Oh, okay.
I was just watching all of these lines bouncing all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay, so once that's done, I'll ask you some questions about why you're here.
Okay.
And we're gonna, at that time, we'll go over those.
Okay.
Once they're in my system, I'll ask you some of my own questions, which I'll have already explained to you prior to getting there about why I actually asked those questions. Once that's done, that will complete your entire question set. I then rearrange the furniture, I attach the equipment to you, I give you your instructions of what to do, what not to do. Then I'm gonna run that question set 3 separate times.
Okay.
I run 3 charts because I'm looking for consistency in your responses. One of 3 things is gonna happen. You'll either be truthful, deceptive, or inconclusive when I'm asking you the questions.
Okay.
Now that format that I wanna run today will hopefully give me a 90 to 95% accuracy rate.
Okay.
The other 5 to 10% that I can't guarantee could be inconclusive.
Yeah.
Inconclusive will happen if the question was not worded properly, if it lets you rationalize around words in the question, or if I was asking you about feelings, thoughts, intentions, or opinions. So I'm not gonna ask you why stuff happened. I'm just gonna ask you, is this true or is it not true?
Okay.
Okay, did you do it or not do it?
Yes.
Once the charts are done, we're done here.
Mm-hmm.
I will go over and I'll score these out probably sometime tomorrow morning early.
Okay.
I will write the report. I will send it to these folks by email.
Mm-hmm.
Once they receive the written report from me, that concludes the entire process.
Got it.
Any questions on just the process?
No. Pretty straightforward, yeah.
Now, I'll get you to sign the consent form.
Am I allowed to ask why in particular are we doing this?
Everybody's asked that question.
Oh, okay.
Good question. And my answer to the other 3 were, I have no idea why they picked you guys. None whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
I was instructed that it's part of a TV or YouTube channel thing.
Yeah.
And take it as a compliment that the viewing audience have asked enough questions to the show that they thought it would be a good idea just to kind of have it backed up by a polygraph.
Interesting.
So you must be doing well on the show. That's all I can say. Otherwise, I don't have a clue why they picked you. None whatsoever.
So the questions are coming from the audience and they're not like from you kind of thing?
That's true.
Okay.
Now, my questions are going to be totally different.
Yeah.
They will be from me.
Yeah.
But the questions that you're here to ask about are directly related to the show.
Very
Probably comments you've made while you've been here so far.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm not sure.
Interesting, okay.
Here's the consent form.
Yes.
So today's date is the 20th. I
Mhm.
want you to print your name where it says I.
Okay.
Put fish tank here, that will mean they are going to be notified the results of the test.
Mhm.
You read it through, if you agree, sign and date it to the bottom right for me.
Okay.
That's a bunch of legal jargon a bunch of my lawyer friends came up with.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean hill of beans to me. I guess legal, it protects me, but
No, of course it does. Yeah.
I gave up a long time ago trying to figure out how to explain it to people.
Okay. Pretty straightforward. I mean,
Yeah, it's general consent,
you said it's 20, right? Yeah, 11, 20.
the 20th.
All right, sir. Oh, sorry. There you go.
Just throw that over there.
Yep. Am I allowed to be nervous?
Everybody's nervous, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna talk about a lot of that in just a few seconds.
Okay.
Is that your real name?
Yes, sir.
Wow. What's your date of birth?
9/21/93.
9/21/93.
Mm-hmm.
How tall are you?
5'7", 5'8".
What do you weigh?
Between 160, 165. Although I might have dropped weight here, so, but yeah.
They starve you guys?
It's more like exhausting.
Yeah.
So, you know, mentally feeling healthy enough, you're not really like putting on.
Where were you born?
I was born here in New York, in the United States.
What town?
What time?
Town.
Town, Queens.
Is it Simbal or Simbal?
Simbal.
Simbal.
Yeah. How long have you been doing this? If I may ask.
Years. I
Yeah.
went to school in 2001, so I'm in my 23rd year of testing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, very impressive.
Exams for lawyers, police departments, corrections, mom and pop. They just gotta know,
Yeah.
did you do the deed or did you not do the deed?
Mm-hmm.
Probably half of what I do is, probably more than half of what I do is that. Did you complete high school?
I did.
College?
No.
Your marital status?
Is this for?
Are you legally married or
I'm not married.
divorced, separated, single?
If those are the options, then single.
Single.
Yeah.
Now, physically today, your overall health, good, poor, fair?
That's a good.
Are you in any discomfort pain-wise for any reason?
Not really, no. My right arm hurts, but it's not like I'm in danger.
Right.
Yeah.
Ever been treated by a doctor for your nerves? Ever been a patient of a psychiatrist?
No.
Ever been a patient in a mental facility?
No.
Ever had asthma or lung issues?
No.
Ever had surgery?
No. No.
Diabetes?
No.
Hernia?
No.
Ulcers?
No.
Are you allergic to anything?
No.
Have you been treated for high or low blood pressure?
No.
Memory loss issues of any kind?
No.
Blackouts?
No.
Back injuries?
No.
Epilepsy?
No.
Anything you consider to be a life-threatening injury to your body?
Not really. No.
Kidney issues?
No.
Do you take prescription meds of any kind?
No.
Oh, you're pretty healthy.
I'm sure I'll take that.
Wish I was that healthy still.
I'm sure you're fine. You've been here for a long time in this room, cooped up.
Yeah, good way to put it. Now I got a 2-hour ride home.
Oh wow, where are you coming from?
New Hampshire.
Okay. I mean, it's almost 5, so
Yeah, I'm expecting like,
mine,
I won't even get out of here till 6, so maybe around 9 I'll get home.
yeah, way past dinner time, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm flying by. They gave me a sandwich here, which is great.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'll nibble on that on the way home.
Yeah.
How'd you sleep last night?
Pretty good, actually.
How many hours did you get total?
Well, okay, let's see. Yesterday, what time I went to bed? I woke up around 4, 5, 6, 7. I would say between 4 to 5 hours. 5 to 6, maybe. 4 to 5 to 6, actually.
What do you average in a night?
6.
Have you eaten anything today?
Yes.
So in the last 24 hours, have you had any alcohol?
Yes.
When was the last time? How long ago?
2:30 a.m. last night.
What was it?
Tequila. 1800. To be specific.
How many?
Oh boy. Yeah. Well, maybe 6 or 7.
In your lifetime, have you ever used illegal drugs?
Yes.
How long ago was the last time?
I would say last New Year.
2023?
Yeah, I would say
What was it?
it was ecstasy. It's the party drug for the moment. Is that gonna get me in trouble?
Not with me. Is it a felony crime? I don't
No.
think so.
No.
Ever been arrested for anything?
No.
That was a no. Any heart issues?
No.
Any general health problems that I need to hear about?
No.
So in the last 2 years, have you been admitted as a patient in the hospital?
No.
In the last 2 years, have you had a complete medical physical by a doctor?
Yes.
When was that? When was your last one?
I don't have my thing on me right now.
Take a guess. What time of year was it?
It was this year.
This year?
Yeah,
Spring, summer?
early on. I would say summer. Yeah.
I'll just put 7.
Yeah.
How'd it turn out?
It was good. I'm healthy.
So if you had to rate your overall health, you would say it's poor, fair, good, or excellent?
Good. Right now where I am, good.
Okay. And that does it for the health questions.
Okay.
Everything that you're looking at on the table is a computerized polygraph instrument.
Okay.
All the attachments, when they're attached to you, and I'm asking you the question set, sends all the information from the inside of your body, goes live through the computerized box and across my screen instantly as it happens.
Okay.
This here is a motion pad sensor.
Okay.
You're actually going to be sitting on this while I'm asking you the questions today.
Oh, okay.
This is your best friend throughout the whole process.
Guys, we're going to go back to our old rules. Cigarettes may now only be smoked in the yard and the bar. No more smoking cigarettes in the whole house or cleaning it up.
Thank you.
Again, cigarettes may only be smoked in the yard or the bar. Thank you.
Okay, so again, you're going to be sitting on that.
Okay.
And I'll give you more instructions when I actually have you sitting on it.
Okay.
What to do, what not to do.
Okay.
This is the blood pressure cuff, same thing you see at the doctor's office.
Yeah.
The difference between here and there, I am not checking your blood pressure today, but this will be monitoring the rate and strength of your pulse while I'm asking you the question set today.
Okay.
I put a lot less pressure in here than they do there, simply because it will be inflated on your arm for about 3.5 minutes each time I use it. 3.5 minutes is a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, so I put just the minimum in here.
Okay.
It'll be the only thing attached to you today that you'll feel anything from is going to be the cuff.
Okay.
These are called pneumograph tubes. There's 2 of those. So the first one's going to get put across your upper chest, which is above the heart. The other one goes across the abdomen below the heart. That beaded chain goes around your back, clips, and holds it in place. Between the 2 of them, they're going to monitor the air capacity in your lungs.
Okay.
Last, I have these. These are called electrodermal tabs, and these are going to be placed on your fingertips.
Okay.
Electrodermal does imply there's a slight current going through here, so I do have to ask you, do you have a pacemaker in your body? Now, if you just took a small battery and you held it between your 2 fingers, there's more of a current going into your body through that battery than goes through here.
Oh,
So
interesting.
when you're holding a battery, you can't feel anything. You're not going to feel anything when these are attached either.
Got it.
But that'll be monitoring all the electrodermal activity going on in every cell of your body when I ask you those questions.
Got it.
Now, I'm going to have you put this glove on next.
Okay.
I'm going to have you put that on your left hand.
Okay.
So, years ago, when that guy up in front of my class at the Polygraph school said electrodermal activity, nobody had a clue what he was talking about.
Yeah.
So I'm about to explain that through this little story that I tell, and give you a much better idea how this works.
Okay.
Do you have any brothers and sisters?
I do.
Let's go back to when you were little kids.
Yeah.
You're 6, 7, 8 years old. You and your siblings, you're all goofing off in the living room. One of you just knocked over Mom's favorite lamp and it broke. Mom comes in the room. She wants to know who did it. Nobody is saying a word. So now she's going to ask each one of you individually.
Yeah.
She'll listen to your answers and watch your reactions at the same time.
Yeah.
As human beings, when we lie, that chemical reaction that I talked about is called the automated nervous system. And as children, when that happens, there are physical outward appearances that are going to be a dead giveaway that you just lied. The first thing that's probably going to happen is the hair on your arms and on the back of your neck would have stood right up on end. I seriously doubt Mom would have saw that, so you got away with that part of it. But what she did notice is from your ears right across your cheeks, just flushed over, a nice bright purplish color. That's also a direct result of the chemical reaction mixing, reaching the chemical firing point, and then maximizing. When it maximizes, not only does the flush happen, but you probably would have felt a burning, stinging sensation going across your cheeks at the same time. I call that the lit up effect. If Mom just lit one of you folks up, she's probably got a really good idea at this point which one of you probably did it.
Yeah.
Now, as you go through your teenage years, you've had the opportunity to have told little lies, big lies as well, and by the time you'll have reached your early adulthood years, you will have developed what I call the poker face. The poker face is this. You could be my best friend, lie to me about everything, and for me to look for those physical outward appearances, I wouldn't be able to see it anymore.
Yeah.
You just had a lot of practice at learning how to hide it and how to mask it. Inwardly, though, the chemical reaction that I talked about, that still happens every single time on the inside. I just can't see the results anymore from the shoulders up. So this equipment on the table monitors your respiratory, electrodermal, and your cardio activity while I'm asking you those questions. Lots of folks are familiar with what respiratory and cardio mean.
Yeah.
But the word electrodermal, all that is the process of that cell mixing, reaching the chemical firing point, and then just watching how high up this little ladder it's actually going to climb up to.
Interesting.
You times that by the trillions of cells in the
Yeah.
body, and when it happens, it's a very measurable reaction. Now, on any normal given day, your rest potential's right here.
Okay.
I'm gonna just call this your daily routine, whatever it might be. Right now, you're sitting here ready to take a polygraph. You've never done this before, and you have what I call general nervous tension elevated in your body, and you're floating up here somewhere.
Yeah.
You are not coming back down to your full normal rest potential for a few
Yeah.
hours after this is over.
Oh wow.
Because you are up here, and because of that automated nervous system, our bodies are made so that we just can't say, hey, that was easy, I'm going down there. Oh boy, I don't like the next one, I gotta go back up there. That little maneuver is physically impossible for the human body to do. We have absolutely no control over that whatsoever. So no matter what I ask you today, whether it be my questions or theirs, that general nervous tension is filtered into every single one of them all the way across. You are not going to fail a question today because of your nerves. Very important today that I ask you a few questions totally unrelated to why you're here, so that I can see what your general nervous tension looks like in each one of those as well. They should be identical all the way across if it was only caused by general nervous tension. Now, when I have all this equipment attached to you today and I'm asking you the very first question while it's running live, it's going to be this one. Is your first name Simbal? You mentally processed the question, you verbally gave me an answer. That will create activity on the chart to reflect that you answered the question. So when I look at chart 1, chart 2, and chart 3, yeah, that little ripple that I just saw was indeed a truthful answer. When I ask you a question about why you're here today, you are going to react greater to that question than me asking you what your first name is. These obviously are the most important ones you're really here to answer anyway. So what happens now is that mixing process slows down a little bit, and it slowly starts to climb this little ladder that I was talking about. Now it may go a third, it might even reach the halfway point, but if it was only caused by general nervous tension, it rolls over and it comes right back down. Nice little bell curve, absorbs it, releases it. I'm going to see a lot of those on your charts today.
Yeah.
The good news is they're still well within the truthful range. Now the only thing that can go past that halfway point and continue to climb is if you flat out lie to me. That'll be a much greater reaction.
Okay.
Now, when I ask you any question today, 25 seconds is going to go by in time before I ask you the next question. This is my
42.
scoring and analyzing range on whatever I just asked you.
Yeah.
So say I asked you a question about why you're here today, and the 25 seconds goes by, and then I asked you another question about why you're here. You will not be back down to your full normal rest potential, however, before the second one already got asked. Now these two zones mixed, and I can't let it happen. I have to separate them. Out goes question 2. I put it out here. I grab one of my questions and I bring it in and put it in its place. My questions on the test today have 2 reasons for being there. First of all, they're going to be that buffer question between those 2 case questions. And because it's going to be there, I'm going to make it count for something.
Oh, nice. I'll bring you one. Once we're done, I'll bring you one before you leave.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about the questions about why you're here.
Okay.
I actually already wrote them in the set here.
Yeah.
By the way, if you think of anything between now and the time you walk out the door for questions, you can jump in and ask.
Okay. Sweet. No, it's just a lot of information, like how the nervous system works compared to like the electromagnetic.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of it's very interesting to see how it works, and I've always seen it on TV and like in this being done, and I was always like curious, like
Depends what TV show you watch as far as what I would recommend
yeah,
that you watch and what you don't watch.
yeah.
'Cause there's a lot of,
No, of course it's all
lot of
fiction.
bad
Like I'm
stuff
saying,
out
like
there.
more like in movies or something, they'll just make someone sit and think, and it's like
now, to the best of my knowledge, these questions came from people that are zooming in and watching
yeah,
whatever you call this contest, okay?
yeah.
So most of these came from them.
Okay.
And then others may just be on stuff that was said since you've been here.
Okay.
All right, so question one.
Mm-hmm.
There's three of these altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a brother who is legally disabled by the United States?
I have a brother. He is disabled, but he was born in India, so nothing to do with the United States.
Is he being treated by the United States?
No.
Okay.
He lives in India. He's Indian. Yeah. He's an Indian citizen. We have a lot of paperwork.
I do. And they. Okay, I'm not sure I understand this 100% the way they wrote it, but
Okay.
do you have a brother who was considered legally disabled by the United States?
I have a brother. He is disabled, but he was born in India. He's an Indian citizen and he lives there. So there's nothing to do with the United States.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I am going to rephrase that.
Mm-hmm. According to the question, United States cannot support him or legally disable whatever.
Correct.
Because I have not yet got his sponsorship to bring him to America.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now he is taken care of by my family in India.
Do you have a brother who is legally disabled who lives in India?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes. Okay. I don't know if that's the intent of what they wanted to know, but that's how I'm going to rephrase it unless I hear otherwise.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Question two.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever sold illicit drugs?
Have I ever sold illicit drugs?
Correct.
I mean, between friends, yes, but this was way back in the years when I was a teenager. Just that.
I'm going to say other than what you've told me. Have you sold illicit drugs? That will exclude what you did when you were a teenager, but that will be on the report that you made the admission. So then I'm going to say, other than that, have you done that? Okay.
I don't like these questions already.
Yeah. I didn't come up with them, believe me. The last one here is, have you ever defecated outside?
What does that mean? Like taking a shit?
Yeah.
No. What? No.
Well, that's an easy one. You can
Yeah,
get
thank
through,
you.
right?
Yeah, yeah. Send me more of these.
Softball.
No.
So other than what you've told me, have you sold illicit drugs?
No.
Okay. How young were you when you did?
15, 16.
Okay.
But it was more like marijuana because marijuana in India is illegal.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
At that time, yeah. It's marijuana. It's not like hardcore.
Okay, I'm just going to leave that as is. Illicit depends, I guess, what country you're in, right? Whether or not it's
Should,
illegal
yeah.
or not legal.
Because I grew up in India. So, I mean,
Okay, so we'll just consider that to be Other than what you've told me, have you sold illicit drugs? Your answer will be
No.
no. Okay. All right, those are going to be your 3 questions about why you're here.
Oh my God, these people are so.
No idea?
I know.
It had to have been stuff that you said
So
while
these
you've
are-
been here or
So
something.
you're gonna be asking, yes, apparently, and I learned from my mistakes because
Yeah.
sometimes you speak some things and we're being recorded all the time, and then
Right.
I learned my mistake. Just like they make fun of my brother by calling him the R word, like calling,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
and then they just play random shit and they just keep talking about him, and I'm like, they try to keep feeding it so much that a person can just literally like
Yeah.
explode on the inside.
Well, if you do that, you get kicked out of here, right?
Yeah.
So,
That's a part of the game.
my questions
Yeah.
to you are going to start off one way.
Okay.
Do you now remember? Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
The important part of the question is not did you do it. The important part is do you now remember doing whatever I ask? Quick example. Somebody comes up to me and says, Carl, do you not remember lying to your mom? Well, I probably did when I was a kid. Give me 5 minutes, I might remember something. You want an answer in 5 or 10 seconds? I just got to say no, because nothing popped into my head that fast. Doesn't mean I didn't do it, just means no, I don't now remember in that short amount of time you gave me. Now, this is not an exercise to recall your whole life in 5 or 10 seconds. Not possible anyway. So if you don't remember anything right away, just say no, because we're not going to sit here all night. If you do say yes to anything that I ask you,
Yeah.
tell me whatever it was you thought of, and I'll reword the question a different way.
Okay.
Here we go. Do you now remember telling a serious lie to someone in authority?
No.
Do you now remember telling a serious lie to somebody who loved and trusted you?
Yes.
That would be?
Ex-girlfriend.
What was the lie?
The lie was that I I didn't cheat on her. Very simple.
Other than what you've told me, do you now remember telling a serious lie to somebody who loved and trusted you?
Yes.
Other than what you told me?
No.
Anything else?
No.
Other than what you've told me, do you now remember betraying someone who put total trust in you?
No.
Ever
No.
done anything of a sexual nature that you're ashamed of?
No.
Do you now remember stealing from a friend?
I stole candy in this house from a competition to
Okay.
win. Yes.
Other than what you've told me, do you now remember stealing from a friend?
No.
Are you the type of person who would lie if you made a mistake?
Sorry, could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Are you the type of person who would lie if you made a mistake?
Now no. If it's not the game, right? In real life, right? Or
Yeah.
are we talking
I don't know.
competition?
You answer the question how you feel it hits you.
Oh, okay. Repeat the question again.
Are you the type of person who would lie if you made a mistake?
No, actually, I would own up to it eventually. Yes. No.
Okay.
No.
Do you now remember committing a great sin?
No. What's an amount?
You define great.
I-
Okay.
Yeah.
Out of all those questions that I just asked you,
Yeah.
I am going to select 3 of them and I'm going to plug them into your question set.
Okay.
You are not going to have any idea which 3 I just put in here until this thing is up and running live. Then you're going to notice 3 of them again.
Do I need to have them?
I'm going to have that shut off in here in just a second.
Okay.
They need to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay, I also have what I call a neutral question on the test.
Okay.
A neutral question is something going on inside this little room that we're in.
Oh, okay.
Example, is there a floor in this room?
Yes.
Yeah, you didn't look around to figure out the answer, you just know it to be true.
Yeah.
There'll be 3 of those on the question set, but they have an important factor, purpose in there and need to be there.
Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised. You guys wanted to ask me that question, world? Seriously? thought you'll come up with some better questions. Shit outside? You don't shit outside when you go camping?
So regarding the questions asking if you sold drugs, do you
Yeah.
intend to answer truthfully?
Yeah.
Is your first name Simbal?
Yes.
Simbal.
Symbol. Yes.
Symbol.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have heard all the questions now that could be possibly asked of you here.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to do next is hook you up, give you some instruct table. Now, I don't care. I don't want your fingers taut. I want them nice and relaxed.
Oh.
Okay.
That's
All right.
relaxing.
Here are your instructions.
Yeah.
When I have air in that cuff, I'm recording all the responses to the question set
Yeah.
that we just put together.
Okay.
While it's inflated, I want you to answer each question with a yes or a no only, exactly the same way you just did.
Okay.
Please don't change your answers from what you've told me, because I can't change it while it's running live over there. That's especially true for the questions that I just got done asking.
Oh, like don't go like yes and then no.
Right.
All of a sudden.
Well,
Okay.
if you said no previously
Yeah.
on my
Just
questions,
keep it there. Yeah.
don't say yes because you thought of
Oh, I see,
something
okay.
else. Okay, continue to say no.
Got it.
If you need to change your answer, you can do it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the chart, when there's no air on the cuff.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Okay.
While it's inflated, there are 3 things I don't want you to do. Number 1, no body movement. The hardest thing to do actually right now is to sit there perfectly still and not move.
Okay.
Subconsciously, when we answer questions yes or no, we even tendency to acknowledge it with a head nod. That's body movement. Don't even do that. Number 2, no deep breathing or altered breathing.
Okay.
No panting, no heavy sighs. Just breathe normal, whatever that is for you.
Okay.
And third and last, do not swallow directly after you answer a question. Now, everybody's got to do it eventually.
Yeah.
I will give you the opportunity to do it if you need it, but
Yeah.
I don't want it to affect your scoring range.
Got it.
The cuff itself is going to be inflated from minimum of 3.5.
Yes.
2 minutes into this, you're going to notice that it's there.
Yeah.
It's going to have this tingling, falling asleep sensation from the elbow down.
Yeah.
Now, physically, it's not painful. It won't hurt you, but it is a cramp feeling, and you're going to notice it.
Okay.
As soon as I've asked you the last question and the question set and the time limit goes by, I will release the pressure in the cuff. Within about 30 or 40 seconds, your arm's right back to normal again.
Okay.
Very quick recovery rate. At that point in time, I reinflate the cuff and I begin chart 2. Chart 2 and chart 3 are going to be exactly the same questions that I asked you in chart 1.
Okay.
The only thing I do different on 2 and 3, I just mix them up a little bit on each one so they're not exactly in the same order.
Okay.
But the questions do not change.
Got it.
Okay?
Got it.
Lastly, find something over here to stare at. I know there ain't a whole lot there, but
I'll stick with the fuzzy
Yeah.
thingy.
the bottom line there is I don't want a lot of eye movement around the room. If you start doing that, whoops, there goes the head, and we don't want that to happen.
Can I maybe look down and maybe
Sure.
sometimes up? Is that?
Well,
I don't know.
focus on something.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Let's do it.
If you start looking up, your head's eventually going to go up with it.
Yeah.
And that's body movement. We don't want that.
Okay.
You can blink as often as you like. That is not a restriction.
Okay.
However, I want you to make sure that you keep your eyes open during the process here.
Got it.
Now, one thing I'm going to do before we start running this question set
Yeah.
is I need to see what your cardio tracing is going to look like before I start asking you these questions for real.
Okay.
So I run what I call a stimulation test.
Hmm.
That is, I want you to pick a number between 1 and 5.
Okay.
Say it out loud.
3.
Everybody picks 3. It's just normal.
Yeah. It's my, everyone's lucky number. I
So
guess,
then
yeah.
I'm going to say, did you pick a number between 1 and 5? Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Did you pick the number 1? No. 2, no. 3, no. 4, no. 5, no. 3, no. 2, no. 1, no.
Yeah.
You're going to say no to everything I ask you after you say yes to the first question.
Got it.
Now, obviously, I don't care what number you pick. You already
Yeah.
told me, so I'm not trying to guess which one right or wrong here.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm really interested to see what your cardio tracing is going to look
Okay.
like, more than anything else.
Okay.
So if I have to make changes to that is before I bring up your real question set, I'll have done it beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
And I'm only going to do this thing once.
Okay.
The other question set I'm going to run 3 times.
Okay. So first I say yes and then everything no.
Correct.
Got it. I'm excited.
I can tell.
Yep, and that's the voice that talks to us.
Where does that come from?
From the people. They can send us a message and just say anything they like. Good, bad, evil, all of it in between.
Obviously, I have no idea. I'm trying to run a polygraph here.
Just feeding you in since now since you told me a little bit about your...
Okay, so I'm going to put some air in the cuff now.
Okay.
Stay very, very still.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here comes the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm only going to do this exercise once, and then I'm going to bring up your real question set.
Got it.
Did you pick a number between 1 and 5?
Yes.
Did you pick the number 1?
No.
Did you pick the number 2?
No.
Try not to bite your lips.
No.
Did you pick the number 3?
No.
Did you pick the number 4?
No.
Did you pick the number 5?
No.
And keep your head very still when you answer. Did you pick the number 4?
No.
Did you pick the number 3?
No.
Did you pick the number 2?
No.
Did you pick the number 1?
No.
Okay, that exercise is over.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
How'd it go?
Oh, the cardio tracing looks really good.
Okay.
That's all I was really interested in.
Okay. That's a good thing, right?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. freezing?
Eventually, after I either had to make changes or not make changes.
Oh, okay.
Some are high, some are low,
Mm,
some are right on.
okay. Interesting.
Probably nothing we can do about that microphone, huh?
I mean, I don't know, if you have the power, you can ask the production to turn it off. They can shut it down because they do that when we go to bed. So since you're at work, you could ask them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that power. Yeah.
Does anybody listen to that, or does everybody kind of ignore it?
Oh, everybody listens to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Besides me, I stopped because it wasn't going anywhere good, anyways.
All right, I'm gonna run the charts anyway, and hopefully that won't be too loud and be a distraction.
Okay.
And squeeze the excess out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Please be perfectly still. We
Sir.
are about to begin chart 1 here.
Okay.
Feet are flat.
Mm-hmm.
Hands look good.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Is your first name Simbal?
Yes.
Regarding the questions asking if you sold drugs, do you intend to answer truthfully?
Yes.
Are you sitting in a chair?
Yes.
Do you now remember doing anything of a sexual nature that you're now ashamed of?
No.
Have you ever defecated outside?
No.
I'm going to repeat that. Try not to laugh.
Sorry.
Have you ever defecated outside?
No.
the lights on in this room?
Yes.
Other than what you've told me, do you now remember betraying someone who put total trust in you?
No.
Other than what you've told me, have you sold illicit drugs?
No.
Are your feet touching the floor?
Yes.
Other than what you've told me, do you now remember telling a serious lie to somebody who loved and trusted you?
No. If you want, you could like be like, hey, production, and they'll hear you.
It's not going to help.
Oh, okay.
The microphone and then whoever's over here doing their thing.
Yeah.
I think he asked them to stop, but they just moved it to another part of the room and kept going.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry,
Feet
sir.
are flat.
I don't have. Yeah, I'm good. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have begun chart through 2.
Okay.
Stay perfectly still again.
Yes, sir.
No body movement.
Mm-hmm.
Is your first name Simbal?
Yes.
Regarding the questions asking if you sold drugs, do you intend to answer truthfully?
Yes.
Careful of the deep breath. Are the lights on in this room?
Yes.
Keep your head real still when you answer.
Mm-hmm.
Other than what you've told me, do you now remember telling a serious lie to somebody who loved and trusted you?
No.
Do you have a brother who is legally disabled who lives in India?
Yes.
Are your feet touching the floor?
Yes.
Do you now remember doing anything of a sexual nature that you're now ashamed of?
No.
Have you ever defecated outside?
No.
Are you sitting in a chair?
Yes.
Other than what you've told me, do you now remember betraying someone who put total trust in you?
No.
Other than what you've told me, have you sold illicit drugs?
No.
Other than what you've told me, do you now remember telling a serious lie to somebody who loved and trusted you?
No.
Do you have a brother who is legally disabled who lives in India?
Yes.
Hey, bitch, I work so fucking hard, so hard. Huge spikes. Daddy pays rent. Friends coming back, tell me lies, more lies, huh? Yeah, I hate these fuckers. Smash these peasants, cause this was the royal you are.
Okay, two down.